Ahava blessings. Welcome to this episode of Embodying the Shehina. This podcast is here to support us, to guide us, to provide us with inspiration in order to integrate, embody, and remember our soul essence. I'm your host. My name is Aurea. I am an ordained Magdalene priestess, a Reiki master, energy and sound alchemist. And this is the episode where we are going to talk about the new moon that is happening on July 14th, 2026, 2:44 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 5:44 in the morning Eastern, and 11:44 for our friends on Central European Time. This is a new moon that is exact at 21 degrees of Cancer, and it is marking the new lunar cycle of Leo Av. It is another very challenging energy to work with. If you recall, when I was speaking about the energies of Cancer-Tammuz, the last lunar cycle, I mentioned that there are 3 zodiacal frequencies where the energy is very intense. There is a lot happening and there is no filter. And they are Cancer, Tammuz, Leo Av, and Capricorn, Tibet. So these 3 zodiacal frequencies are very important. Leo is about spiritual sovereignty. It is, in the Kabbalistic teachings, in the biblical interpretation of these zodiacal frequencies, Leo is much more than a grandiose, magnanimous, leadership-oriented leader, king, queen, sovereign energy. It is more about inner spiritual sovereignty. It is about humility. It is about opening the heart. It is a powerful frequency for aligning with your soul mission, for being authentic, for freedom, for liberation, for being embodied in your sovereignty. And what does sovereign mean? Let's start with sovereignty. Sovereignty means that you are whole, you are complete, you are in all respects full, complete. Nothing is missing from you. And this is something that is difficult to grasp for most of us because most of us have been trained and programmed that we are defined by the external. We are defined by our characteristics, our socioeconomic class, our educational level, our skin color, you name it, our identity that we choose to put on for a moment. But what I'm speaking about is something that goes far deeper than all of the ways that we as a humanity, as a human collective, have found to divide ourselves and to separate ourselves, not just from one another, not just from the earth, but from the divine. Because when we create all of these labels, all of these ways of separating ourselves, we are, in essence, ultimately separating ourselves from our infinite oneness. And that's where our sovereignty comes from. Our sovereignty is something that no experience, nothing can take away from you. Because sovereignty is something that the divine has bestowed upon all of creation, all humanity. Sovereignty is what we are through this ascension process, what we are working on remembering. And I'm not speaking of a remembrance on a mental level. I'm speaking of a remembrance on a soul level. Your soul, the light, the spark that you are, the spark of the divine, the spark of creation, that part of you knows it is infinite, it is whole, it is sovereign, It is in infinite oneness with the divine. There is no separation. There is no division. That part of you, that's the part of you that we strive to remember and to embody. Not from a perspective of the human world and duality and this experience as human beings is bad, but from the perspective that our truth is that infinite oneness with the divine. That is our true nature. And we have, in the infinite wisdom that our soul and the divine has, chosen to inhabit a physical form that is finite in order to live out certain experiences, in order for the soul and the greater part of the divine that we are a part of, that the soul is a part of, to experience itself differently than it would in the state of oneness, the state of union with all that is. This is a challenging lunar cycle. We are going into the beginnings of what will be eclipse season with the following new moon, the lunar cycle in Virgo. There's going to be an eclipse. So we are entering that portal. Eclipses are a time of profound transformation, change, rapid change, shifting of timelines. And when I speak of shifting of timelines, it's not something esoteric. A timeline is simply something that is chosen based upon our choices. Your choices to choose A over B or C over E, whatever it is. Those choices align you with certain frequencies and put you on certain trajectories. That's all it is. It's not something extremely fancy. And I know that some people speak about timeline jumping, and you can do that. You absolutely can switch trajectories. That has to do with what you are willing to let go of on one level, because we must disrobe ourselves of the external, of the fluff. And we must come back into wholeness and integrity. And from that place of wholeness, integrity, and sovereignty, choose a different alignment, a different trajectory. So it is not something that is very complex to do. It just requires the discipline and the effort, which I spoke about discipline during Cancer season. And I spoke about us. It's not just about being deeply open and intuitive and ready to receive the wisdom, but we must prepare the vessel and create the structure to be able to adequately implement what we receive. Because the veil is non-existent, again, during this lunar cycle, we're still receiving the full blast from the cosmos, the radiant energy of the divine, without a filter. That's what astrological symbols and signs are. They are filters through which the energy of the divine expresses and comes into the human plane, onto the earth. 3 lunar cycles, as I mentioned, where there is no filter. The air. Yes, the air too. The air, the energy, the light just comes straight in, and depending on what we hold in our vessel, it's either going to manifest positively, chaotically. There will be fear that comes up. There will be stuff that we have to deal with. None of this is a bad thing. None of this is, oh my God, the world is ending. No, it's simply inviting us to go deeper. This lunar cycle is happening at 21 degrees, and if I want to be exact, which I like to be exact, my Virgo moon likes precision, it's happening at 21 degrees and 59 minutes of Cancer. So it's like 1 second away from 22. And I think that that's very important. 21 is the number 3. It is the Trinity. It is about communication, creativity, infinite possibilities, knowing that every moment we are co-creating. It is a number that is connected with the Hindu goddess Saraswati, and it brings the gifts. Well, if we are conscious of our actions and what we are doing and taking responsibility for ourselves, this number brings many, many gifts. But remember the caveat. We must be aware, conscious, take responsibility and accountability for our actions. And if our actions were not in integrity, not in alignment, it's not about beating yourself up. It's not about guilt. It's not about shame. It's not about blame. It's simply about choosing to align with a different frequency. That is the power of the 3. The 3 is a masculine number. It is a very yang number. It is about not forgetting the connection with divine union, which is the 2. Being mindful. With this number, we must be mindful not to do too much too fast. Mercury is still in retrograde. So we need to still pace ourselves. We can't just burn ourselves out just doing all the things, doing too much, and not nurturing and sleeping and stepping back and thinking and breathing and just really being conscious about why we are choosing the path that we are choosing. The Aramaic Hebrew frequencies, the letters that created and rule the zodiacal frequency, is the Kaf, which created the sun, and Tet, which created Leo. And what's interesting is last cycle, I kind of was mixing up Het with Tet, and I don't know why I was doing that. I guess I was feeling a lot of the sun, solar energy, the Leo energy before it was coming. But it's Tet that created Leo. Kaf that created the sun. The sun and the moon are in conjunction. And we have Mercury in retrograde in Cancer at 19 degrees and 50 minutes. 22 is a master number. It is a number associated with Mary Magdalene. It is a number of bringing union, divine union, into the plane of duality. It is a number of mastery. It is a number that aligns us with grounding the foundation of divine union into the physical world. The 3 is supremely creative. So we have also the 21, the 22, which is a master number, and the 4, which is a foundation. This is what we are building. The ascension process is about self-mastery. A lot of people throw that word around and attribute meanings to it that are not very grounded and not actionable. And spirituality is supposed to be something that grounds you in your physical reality while still opening yourself up to receiving the divine wisdom. So it's not a disconnection from the divine. It's not a disconnection from the physical world. It's a union of the heavenly and the celestial through our physical vessel. And this is why I have been meaning to share, and I don't know if by the time that this episode comes out, I will have shared it. But if you follow me on YouTube, you will see a video where I speak about religion, dogma, and spirituality. And the reason I bring this up is because Leo, Western astrology, the surface knowledge of Leo, because remember I go deeper into the mystical, biblical, ancient astrology of it, and then the Western, which is more what you hear every day. So the Western interpretation of Leo is very the king, the sovereign, leadership, and very generous, very magnanimous, very heart-centered. All these are true. And then there's also the shadow side of Leo, because it is a plane of duality. There's a light and the dark aspect of Leo, where Leo can be very egoic, very selfish, and wanting to be the center of attention at all times, for all things have to be about the Leo. That is on the dualistic plane that we exist right now. On the higher level, Leo is about having the self-discipline to know when it is your time to shine and when it is your time to contribute your gifts to the collective, to contribute your gifts to creating union. Leo rules the heart. Leo is a regal solar energy ruled by the sun. What does the sun do? The sun gives life. The sun nurtures. The sun allows us to grow. The sun allows us to expand. The sun is life-giving. That is Leo in the true unified field, the biblical Kabbalistic aspect of Leo is that pure solar energy that is extremely heart-centered, giving, generous, magnanimous. It is an energy that nurtures and gives life. It is a creative life force energy. This and the leadership that comes from this energy is a leadership that brings everything together. It is a leadership that unites. It is a leadership that has compassion. It is a leadership that is empathetic. It is a leadership that is strong, fierce, protective. It is an energy that radiates the goodness of the divine into the earth plane. Leo being the king, the queen, the sovereign. There is a graciousness to Leo. There's a magnetism. If you know Leos, you know how magnetic and charming and just full of life they are. And some of you may know Leos that are very selfish, and yet they may not be aware enough to know that they are being selfish. So on the earth plane, we have all kinds of Leos. On the higher octave of Leo, which is what all Leo solar signs aspire to, and what during this lunar cycle, we are bringing down that higher octave of Leo. We are bringing down the courageous, warm, loving energy, that heart energy. We are activating the Huba, the sacred flame of holy desire. And this is a desire that is your soul's desire. Every single one of us, the spark with which we are infused, the breath of the divine, of the Shekhinah, that infuses our existence with the light, with the divine energy, with life, with Hayeh. That energy wants something far deeper than the mundane, than what we have been trained to think we want. There are wants that are egoic in nature, that have to do with the lower, baser planes of existence, that have to do with our karmas, with proving people wrong, with the ego. And then there are desires that are the desires that your soul placed in your heart. And those are the desires that we awaken during this cycle. There is a brilliant, charismatic, abundant energy to this lunar cycle. This lunar cycle, Leo, is associated with Yeshua. And Yeshua was a great teacher. He is an ascended master. He's still an energy that permeates humanity. And I use his name because that was his name. And in his time, names, and actually even amongst the Hebrew and the Jewish people, and many indigenous peoples as well, because the Jews are indigenous peoples, the name that you were given had deep and profound significance. It was carefully selected. It was something that was given to the parents through the soul of the child. The soul of the child chose the name. And the name Yeshua is very specific, and it is even written in, I can't remember the gospel, but it is written that the name was not meant to be translated because of its deep significance. So this lunar cycle of Av is associated with Yeshua, with the deep humility with which he brought his teachings into the world, the courage with which he lived his life, the strength that he showed, the ferocity. A lot of people, especially in Western traditions, they see Jesus as being just all kindness, all love. But what's interesting is if you actually read his Gospels in Aramaic, the language that he spoke, they sound different. His tone sounds much more direct, much more precise, and oftentimes much more harsh. It's not all love and light and all airy-fairy spirituality. There is a deep discipline that he called forth, because in order to embody the wisdom, the Shekhinah, which is he was of the tradition, the mystical traditions of the Shekhinah, of the Holy Spirit, in order to embody those traditions, you do need to hold profound humility and discipline. There is no embodiment without having the proper structure, the proper discipline, the proper humility to receive. When we neglect those aspects that are necessary in order for us to receive the wisdom transmissions, what we do is create distortion, because it is our ego then that interprets that wisdom. And it interprets that wisdom in whatever way the ego thinks it suits its power. The power that Yeshua spoke of was not a power of manipulation, a power over someone else. It was the power over yourself. It was self-mastery. This lunar cycle is a time of transition. It is strength and divine love. And because many negative things happen during the cycle of Av, Leo, there is that being able to hold deep sorrow and loss and unify it with redemption, with renewal, with rebirth. Understanding that deep transformation comes from the power of divine love and the strength to persevere and transform. And that strength to persevere and transform emerges through faith. So even amidst the pain, the chaos, the darkness, can you still choose to embody courage, strength, love, resilience? Can you choose to maintain an open heart? It is through an open heart that we heal, that we let go, that we liberate, that we transform and transcend. We must maintain an open heart. And yet the heart is the most delicate thing, and it is the one part of ourselves that we often close the quickest at the smallest sign or the largest sign of betrayal or trouble or hurt. We are all so quick to close our heart, to protect ourselves. But what this cycle asks for us is to remain in the heart and to remain open. Can we express authenticity, embodied authenticity, not from the ego, an authenticity that is in alignment and integrity with the divine? This is the cycle of sacred leadership. Leadership that is rooted in the heart, aligned with divine will, and illuminated by love. On the tree of life, this lunar cycle of Av, Leo, corresponds to Gevurah, the Sephira that is aligned with and discipline. And Gevura teaches us to channel divine power, divine will, with intention and compassion. Boundaries and discernment, they are not limitations. They are tools for creating order and growth. Don't know why this is coming to mind, but this is what's coming to mind. When cells grow in your body, according to the design of your genetic template, they grow in order. In an orderly fashion, they grow, they expand, they die, and more replace themselves. Your body is constantly renewing itself. However, when something is off in one of those cells, and the growth is just explosive and continues to grow and grow and grow and doesn't care where it is, that is called cancer. And that can cause the asphyxiation and death of other cells, organs, etc., and ultimately potentially lead to our own demise. So even in the natural world, there is an order, there is a structure to how life is meant to flow. It is the same with your energy, just as it is in your body. We must cultivate the strength and the discipline and the boundaries and the discernment to know where to place the appropriate boundaries in order to grow and expand in alignment and integrity with creation. This cycle asks us, how can we transform our struggles into opportunities? Opportunities that give us growth, renewal, allow us to become stronger and more aligned with the divine. How can we transform these struggles, everything we're going through, into these opportunities? I mentioned the Aramaic Hebrew letter Tet. And Tet symbolizes hidden goodness. It teaches that even though we cannot see it, the divine, with our eyes, even with our human understanding, there is a divine plan that is unfolding. And it's that ability to trust that that divine plan is for the ultimate good. The divine, the creator of all life, all of existence, is goodness. It isn't a God that seeks to punish. It isn't a goddess that seeks to hurt, to divide, to create chaos and division and separation. The divine seeks expansion, joy, strength, goodness. So look beneath the surface. There are seeds for goodness, for transformation, for growth that we are always planting. Are we trusting that those seeds are going to germinate when they are ready? Or are we just digging them up to see what they're up to under the ground and disrupting their process? Can we have faith in the divine, in the plan that our soul chose before we were born? And can we align more fully with deep faith, with our heart, with trust, with humility, trusting that everything is working out even when it looks like it's not. One of the teachings of Tet is the vessel of hidden goodness. Within every challenge lies the seed of divine blessing. It is the 9th letter of the Hebrew Aramaic alphabet. And with being the 9th letter, it holds the energy of gestation, of completion, representing the sacred process by which the hidden becomes revealed. So again, trust in divine timing, humility, purpose, intention. All that exists has an energy field, has a light, a huba, a sacred flame. And as we are light, we are here and meant to generate more light. And that is what Leos do magnificently well. Leos are bright and radiant. And if you ever see an unhappy Leo, it's because that Leo has been through it. And that Leo needs to remember how radiant and beautiful that Leo is. So be sure to be nice to your Leos this cycle, because they do go through a lot. Kaf created the sun. That's the Aramaic Hebrew frequency that created the sun. And it symbolizes crowning or reaching. And when that letter is formed, a horizontal line is said to represent the divine, while the vertical line represents the pathway through which divine blessings flow into the world. It also has a shape similar to the palm of the hand, so it is connected with action, giving, and receiving. And again, we have the energy of humility and receptivity, as Kaf is also connected to these two concepts. The open palm of the Kaf represents the capacity to receive divine influence, divine blessings, divine wisdom, and the potential to connect and aspire towards the divine. This frequency allows us to increase our mindfulness and focus, to bring healing, to enhance our spiritual development, and to bring forth manifestation. This is a powerful cycle because we also have Jupiter opposing Pluto, and Jupiter goes into Leo. Jupiter has been exalted in Cancer for quite some time, I think a couple of years, and it's a great time for Cancer energy to plant the seeds. I know that many people were saying, oh, Jupiter in Cancer is going to be great for Cancer, everything's going to manifest. No. Things don't manifest just because Jupiter is in Cancer. Things have a higher probability of manifesting when Jupiter is in Cancer and exalted. However, we're still putting forth the seeds and the effort. Jupiter in Leo looks for an outward expansion for creativity and expression, self-expression. It is about being radiant, being seen, about shining. It is a magnetic energy. Pluto in Aquarius wants powerful transformation, not just for the self, but for the collective. So in harmonizing these two frequencies, because when we have oppositions, the goal is to harmonize. We harmonize them by remaining in the heart, aligning with integrity. We let the ego go, let it go, and allow the soul to lead. Expansion and growth, rebirth, all that comes from leaning into humility, focusing on the heart, aligning with higher purpose and wisdom, and awakening and nourishing the Huba. We have Uranus, 4 degrees of Gemini, conjunct Mars, 10 degrees of Gemini. This is a combustive energy. It's a chaotic energy. It's explosive. Mars in Gemini wants to do the thing and does not care how it gets done. And Uranus is the planet of innovation, the planet of doing things unconventionally. So there will be unexpected things that are happening. So expect the unexpected. There will be disruption. There will be unconventional ways of doing things that step forward. This is an unpredictable energy. So maintain your heart-centeredness. Slow down, breathe. Think not with the mind. Think with the heart, the soul, before you either burn things down or make a choice, whether it's burning things down or not. Because sometimes this energy wants just to tear everything down, but doesn't think about the consequences and whether it's actually a good idea to tear everything down. Maybe you don't have to tear anything down. Maybe you just have to put up a new sheetrock, whatever, but it may not be necessary to just tear everything down. This is why I'm saying pause, breathe, feel into your heart, think, and lead with your heart, not the mind. The mind is more easily influenced by the ego. Into the heart. We come back to the heart. We also have Pluto that's retrograde in Aquarius, that is in a trine to this energy of Uranus and Gemini. So that's death, rebirth, transformation. Okay? So be flexible. Be very flexible during this time. There is a lot that is happening, and there is a lot more that is happening behind the scenes. And the thing about understanding our physical world as we see it is every single one of us sees the physical world, the outside, through the lens of our programs, our traumas, our indoctrination, our education, etc. If we have a tendency towards victimhood, we will see the world as evil, and we will see the world as out to get us. Nothing in this world is either A or B, because everything holds both frequencies, all frequencies within it. So during this time, this is why I cannot stress this more. Remain in your heart. Work on maintaining the openness of your heart, maintaining your alignment, shedding the layers of ego, of programs, of stuff, of identities that keep you in separation, because that is really all they do. If it is a label, it is meant to separate. What the soul wants to do, your soul wants to unify. Your soul wants to come back into that remembrance of its infinite self as divine presence, as soul in a human body. It's not either or, it's both. We have Venus at 5 degrees of Virgo, and it's conjunct the South Node at 0 degrees of Virgo. The South Node is where the moons are for the eclipses, okay? And Virgo is the sign of the priestess. It is the sign of the physical body, of your daily habits, your routines. It is the sign of purity and purification, of mysticism, and of deep healing physically and spiritually. The South Node represents our past lives, and it is in a trine. So this conjunction of Venus and the South Node in Virgo is in a trine to Chiron at 0 degrees of Taurus. Chiron is the wounded healer. Those aspects of yourself that you're great at telling other people how to fix, but you yourself within don't know how to fix it. So this alignment brings forth a reconnection to past lifetimes. Priestess, priest lifetimes. Lifetimes where you have taken religious vows, religious ordinations. You were part of a priest, priestesshood. You were part of a religious sect. All of those things. Times when you were a mystic, a witch, a healer. And these are times, for many of us, where we experience great trauma, great loss. We may have had our children taken away. We may have been beheaded, burned, who knows. We may have been ostracized, exiled, etc. You get my drift. These are lifetimes that don't just hold these traumas, though. They hold gifts. So how are we bringing healing and wholeness to those lifetimes? And how are we bringing those gifts forward into this incarnation? 0 degrees represents infinite potential. It's pre-creation energy. The 5 degrees represents rapid transformation, change, self-mastery, and the physical body. Virgo, physical body, your daily habits. Taurus, your values, your money, your resources. Venus, how you love, how you receive, how you allow love to flow and express through you. So this is a time with these two energies to see what's coming up. There may be dreams of past lifetimes. There may be things that come up in your environment that trigger certain parts of your personality to come out. There may be anger, there may be fear, there may be resistance. Whatever it is, lean into it and ask your body, 1, where you feel it. 2, what is it revealing to you? 3, what can you do to liberate it? And bring light, healing, bring love, bring the infinite energy of the cosmos to these challenges. They need them, okay? So we have the sun conjunct the moon, 21 degrees Cancer / 22 degrees. Mercury retrograde, 19 degrees of Cancer. To sum this all up, be very intentional and mindful. Slow the hell down. Slow down. Before you say something, check a few times with your heart, not the brain, with the heart, to see if you need to say that. Is it helpful? Is it kind? Is it going to create resolution? Is it going to create union? If it's not, you might as well not say anything. Just send light. If there's nothing nice, nothing that is constructive, nothing that is going to bring things together, send light, send prayers. Far more effective than anything that can come out of your human mouth at that time. Sit in the stillness. Allow yourself to sit in the darkness. I know this is uncomfortable. I know this is not what we want to do. We all want to be doing the things. We want to be taking action. We want to be manifesting. Sometimes you just need to sit down and really take stock of what is it that truly needs to be done. Choose alignment. Be in integrity. Inner world thoughts equals our outer actions, so be very, very aware. Humility, work on all of us need to work on our humility all the time. Heart-centeredness, compassion, allow the divine to lead, allow your soul to lead you. Awaken and nurture the chuba. We're going to be doing this for the sound activation. Breathe into the heart. Breathe into the womb space. Let go of the ego. Let go of the thoughts, the programs, the limitations, the separations, everything that keeps you separate. Let it go. It is not the truth. The truth is you are infinite consciousness, infinite oneness. You are pure divine love. You are a spark of the divine. Trust in the divine. See the roots of goodness, the seeds that are waiting to be revealed. And I did mention next lunar cycle, eclipse season. Oh my God. And I already peeped the astrology, and it's going to be wild. But I'll let you know about that. Let's just focus on Leo season right now, okay? Have a blessed full moon. Remember, these cycles are opportunities for us to align more deeply and to awaken different parts of our being and our experience, and to enhance our human experience. This is a cycle that brings us into a deeper level of heart-centeredness, of spiritual sovereignty, of humility, of mastery, of trust in the divine. So allow yourself to receive these frequencies and allow yourself to open your heart and choose wisely what you are aligning with. I know some things sound good. However, we've gotten to the place as a humanity, as a collective, and on an individual level, where it's not just about the surface. It's not just about how something looks and sounds on the outside. It's about what is it that is within. And I know that that's a scary place for us to look, because that involves a huge degree of humility and a huge degree of courage to be able to look into the depths and to make changes if something is not in true integrity and alignment with the way it sounds on the outside and the way it looks on the outside. And that may make you feel a certain way, and it's okay. But remember that there is a higher good that is asking for us to step into alignment with it. And it may not look pretty or sound pretty and may be messy AF, but still, that's a higher octave of goodness that we are all being called to embody. So have a blessed new moon, a wonderful and blessed new lunar cycle of Leo Av. Of course, if you have any questions, you can feel free to reach out to me. Like, share, subscribe, and don't forget to check the sound activation. And if you would like a one-on-one Kabbalistic astrology session, you can find all the ways to work with me on my website, sophianicreation.com, as well as you can listen to my library of podcast activations and energetic transmissions, sophianicreation.com/podcast. You can follow me on YouTube at Aurea Lara and on Instagram at Aurea Lara and Embodying the Shehina. Have a blessed, blessed new moon, and everything is linked below for you. Ahava. Blessings.